So today what we are going to do, so we are going to go with the application security. That means so securing the whole application. So how we are securing the whole application? By enabling the username and password authentication for the users actually. Okay, so nowadays all the applications are all having the username and password authentication, right guys? That if you go, I mean, either the mail address authentication or like a unique ID authentication. So how come we can able to enable the authentication, and what are the like different types of authentication are available, and what is an authorization? So before authentication and authorization, what is the prerequisite or needed actually? Okay, so here that is what the identity and access management comes into the picture. Okay, so in order to enable the authentication and authorization for the user, right, that means the user have to log in with the username and password. So before that, okay, so now can you tell me, okay, how the authentication is happening actually? Okay, so you are typing the email address and password. Let's say like when you are logging into Facebook, right, you are typing like your username and password, that is your email address and password, right? How it has been, what is the backend, what is happening in the backend? Anyone can able to tell me what is going on in the backend?
When a user is getting registered, all his details would be stored in a database.
Mm-hmm.
And password, we can say it can be encrypted and saved so that no one can have
Mm-hmm.
that access to it. And
Okay.
then when we are trying to sign in, I mean log in,
Mm-hmm.
then when we type the username and password, first the username would be I mean like in MongoDB, oh sorry, in any database we would be checking for the username
Mm-hmm.
and or the email ID, and then we will compare the password. If the
Exactly.
username itself is not available, then we say that a username doesn't exist, or
Mm-hmm.
else the password is wrong, depending on the
Okay,
situation.
great. Okay, so that's a correct explanation. Okay, so that means like whenever you, okay, so for example, when you try to access facebook.com, right, there you will be seeing the mail address and password actually. Okay, type your mail address and then the type your password actually. So you will be typing your email address and then the password, right? When you type your email address and password, okay, so Facebook is the application. It will go and search actually. So it will create a request. Okay, so it will go and search it in whatever the database. It may be the database, but now here in the pingfederate or in future in the organization, we are going to use the LDAP actually. Okay, so that's a different kind of a repository where we can able to store the users and then the password actually. Okay, so it will go even in the Facebook also. It's a LDAP only, the Facebook. Okay, it will go and search it the user. Okay, so here that is two things it will happen actually. Okay, so whenever you are typing it in the mail address, right, in the login screen, you will be seeing the login screen actually. Okay, so but how come in the repository it is going and searching the exact mail address or the user ID you are typing it actually? How come it is going and searching it exactly? That is known as the search filter. That is known as the search filter. Okay, normally I'm giving an example actually. Normally the search filter will be mail is equal to dollar username. So username, it's a field name. Okay, in the login screen you will be seeing the field name, right? Okay, if I click on the sign in, so here it is asking this text box, right? Okay, the text box field name will be, okay, if you right click on that one and then view page source. So here what is the name in the username? Let me search it here. Okay, yeah, I think is it a username? Ah, yeah, you could see, right, guys? So here the label is email or phone actually. Okay, but the value is the username. Okay, so the variable is the username. Okay, so that means the variable of this particular field name is username. So that's why in the filter we are putting the mail actually. Okay, so mail is equal to dollar username. Dollar is nothing but that is the multiple. Okay, so here I mean, there are like a lot of people will type the email address here, right? Maybe like, I mean, for example, let's say like any number of users, like I think billions of users are there in the Gmail, they are trying to access, right? So it will be like, it is not a static one, it's a dynamic one. So that is why we are putting the dollar. Dollar is a dynamic, the value will get changed. Okay, mail is the one which is available in the repository. So if I try to type it, for example, if I type, okay, this mail address means it will get changed. Okay, for example, if I type this mail address means then it will change it. Okay, this one, if I type it in the field name as pingtraining@gmail.com means it will get changed. Mail is equal to pingtraining, and then it will go and search it in the repository and then get the mail and then match the password, and then it will, if it is successful, it will give the success response back to the application. Okay, the application will see the success response, and then it will accept the user to log in into the application. If the application sees the if the LDAP is received the wrong password means it will give a wrong response to that. That means failure response to the application. Then the application will throw the error as your username or password is incorrect actually. Okay, so that is what it happens on the every application authentication. So here you can ask me one question. So here we are searching the filter, but where we are going and searching it actually. Okay, how we are going and how we are going and searching, we got it, but where we need to search it actually, that is what the search scope, that is what the search scope. So here we will be giving where we need to search it actually. Okay, where we need to start the search or where we need to begin the search actually. Begin the search. Understood, guys? Where we need to begin the search. So this one we will be, this one I will be, we will be discussing on the LDAP part actually. Okay, when we do the LDAP, we will discuss this one. Okay, yeah. Now the next one is here we got the search scope and then the search filter. So based on this only the authentication is working on. Okay, similarly in PingFederate also, since the PingFederate is an authentication tool, right? So here also we are going to use this two, like search scope and then the search filter. So these are the two most important component in the PingFederate which we will be using it. Okay, so here the search filter we can use any number of search filters actually. Okay, we can use if you are using the or symbol, right? Either we can use the mail for authentication or username or anything else also we can use it. So here in the C, right, it is showing the email or phone, right? So that means we can also use my mobile phone to log in, and that number also log in, or mail address also I can able to log in. So that means the backend filter will be like this. Okay, so do you know what is an or symbol, guys? Do you know what is an or symbol?
Either one of them should be matched.
Exactly. Or symbol is nothing but either any one of them should be matched actually. Okay, like this will be there. Okay, either any one of them will be matched. Okay. So here, or of this particular. So any one of them will get matched. You can also do the third one or fourth one. Okay, so I can also do the third one. That means what I can do, UID. Okay, UID is equal to, UID means unique ID, I am saying. Okay, I'm just giving, these are all just a normal example I'm giving it actually. Okay, so here UID is equal to $username, mobile is equal to $username. Okay, so any one of them. Okay, you can either type UID or mobile or mail actually. Okay, so this is the one which we will be using it in the PingFederate also. In PingFederate, we will be using the mail is equal to $username, UID is equal to $username. Okay, all the application will have the field name as the same thing actually. Okay, some application will have the username in capital, some application will have the username in the lowercase actually, but doesn't matter. This $UID $username, it's the same configuration every application. It is not only for the PingFederate, even in Okta or any other, even Gmail also it's using the same thing. You could see right in the source page. It's the same thing actually. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Understood? Any doubts on the search filter and then the search scope, guys? Search scope, we will be discussing more about that one. Okay, about the search scope in the LDAP. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts till now, guys? Shall we move on to the next here in the application itself? Okay. Now here, okay, like we know, right? During the authentication, we need to register first actually. Okay. Here also, I don't have the Gmail account. Okay, I don't have the Gmail account. I cannot directly go ahead and do it in the I cannot, if I don't know the Gmail, or if I don't have the Gmail ID, means how I can able to use it, how I can able to log in. But here you could see there is a create account here. You could see, right? I need to click on the create account. It will be registered here actually. Okay, so here it can be able to register in this particular Google actually. Similarly, Facebook means I need to register there also. Okay. Similarly, if you are working in any organization means they will create account for you actually. They will create a account for you. Okay, you know, right? For example, let's say like you are working inside the, sorry, you are you studied right in your college actually. So who created your registration number actually? Any idea? So you will be having your college admission number or something like that. You will be having it, right? While you are attending, while you attend your exams and all, the registration number, your ID card number and all. Am I right, guys? Guys,
So
can you able
is
to
it
hear me?
created by college admin or someone who has an
Exactly.
access?
Exactly. So the registration number, you are not going to do it as a self registration. Okay. So that means, okay, they are creating a registration for you. That means you are an college, I mean, you are the person who is inside the college actually. Okay. You are not outside from that college. Am I right, guys? You are not an external student. You are an internal student actually. So you are an internal person. Similarly, the college employees also will have it, right? College staffs actually, or professors, and then the like support staffs and all will be there, right? So they will also have the registration number actually. Okay. So for them also, they will be creating it. College admin will create it. Similarly, if you are going and working in the organization, that means, okay, let's say the Gmail. Okay. So the Gmail, you are creating your own account actually. Okay. So you are doing the self registration. But let's imagine the Google employees, that means Gmail employees actually. Okay. What will happen? The employees means they cannot be able to create their own registration, or they cannot create their own username and password actually. So there is one kind of admin team will be there. Okay. And they will create an account for that particular persons actually. Okay. Even though even if you are going to join any kind of organization as an employee, right? Okay. You are going into the organization. Okay. You are joining that organization as an employee. You are going to that organization and working there actually. Okay. So during the first day of an organization, right? Okay. So what they will do, right? They will go and create a, I mean, you will be sharing your personal information, right, guys? Your first name, last name, mobile number, and then the email address, and then these details you will be giving to the organization during the first day. So based on those information, right, they will create your digital identity in the back end of the organization. Let's say you are going and joining TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. Okay. In the first day of that TCS, right? Okay. They will get your personal details like first name, nothing else, just a first name, last name, mobile number, mail address is enough actually. Okay. So the next day you will be receiving your mail address. Okay. Only first name and last name they will get you actually. Okay. And then the mobile number. So based on this detail, they will create a username. They will create a like mail address. Okay, for your account in the organization actually. Okay, so that is known as the creating a digital profile for an user actually. Okay, so here in this identity and access management, right, before enabling the authentication and authorization for the users, okay, we need to create a digital identity for a people actually. Okay, so here identity and access management. Okay, in that identity and access management, the identity stands for creating a digital identity for a people inside the organization. Okay, so here it will include, that means creating a digital identity for a people, and then enabling the authentication and enable the authorization for the user. So it's like a three layers, three different layer in the identity and access management. One is identification, that is creating a digital identity for a user. Only one digital identity should be there. It's not more than one actually. Okay, there is no duplicates. It should not be more than one. Okay, inside the organization I'm saying, not for the not for the Gmail and all actually. Okay, so here IAM will have identification. So identification, okay, will have the, we can say LDAP and then the JDBC. Okay, next, access management. Access management will have two parts. One is authentication, one is authorization. Okay, so here in order to enable the authentication or authorization, we need the digital identity for a user's access. So that will be done by the identity management. Okay, so that is known as the identity management. There are like lot of tools are there, guys, actually, in order to onboard the users actually. Okay, so there are three user base are there actually. Okay, one is B2B, sorry, B2E. Next one is B2B, Next one is B2C. So B2E. Okay, so B means it's a business. So business to enterprise. Business to enterprise means it's an employees. Okay, so employees of an organization. So if you are working in TCS means then you are an employee of an organization. So you will be comes under B2E. Next one is business to business. This is partners of an organization. Okay, so partners means, let's say like I am partnered with the TCS means then I am a partner of a TCS. So that means business to business actually. Okay, let's say B2C. Okay, business to consumers. This is the consumers of an organization. That is the customers of an organization. Okay, so if you are the customers means then it will go as a consumers. Okay, so for consumers only they will be having the self registration page. Actually for the consumers only they will have the self registration because they are external to the organization. So if you are working in TCS means then you are employees of an organization. Okay, and then business to business means that is a partners of an organization. Business to consumers means that is the customers of an organization. Okay, so identity and access management will be different for employees and then will be different for consumers. We cannot, we cannot have the same identity and access management for the employees and then the customers. Actually, we can have the same identity and access management for enterprise, that is employees and partners as the same. Similarly, partners and customers as the same identity and access management. But we cannot combine the enterprise and then the consumers actually. Okay, because enterprise means employees, that is internal of the organization. Okay, again consumers means they are external. So internal and external we cannot combine. So every organization will have a separate identity and access management for the employees and then as well as the consumers. So it will be two different identity and access management or only one. Actually they won't have the consumers and all actually. Okay, they won't have the consumers authentication, only the employees and partners will be there for the single sign-on actually. Okay, so identity management means, okay, so basically identity and access management deals with creating a digital identity for a user so that we can able to manage the users clearly and enable the authentication and authorization action, okay, for the users. So these are the three parts of an users actually. Okay, so mostly PingFederate will deals on the enterprise of an organization, that is employees and partners of an organization, not concentrated on the customers of an organization basically. Okay, so here under access management there are two things. One is authentication, one is and then the authorization. Under authentication we are going to see the single sign-on and then the MFA. Okay, so this single sign-on and MFA will be enabled by the PingFederate tool called PingFederate actually. Okay, so here in other words we can say it's a federated single sign-on tool, federated SSO tool actually. Okay, so here in this particular training we are going to concentrate on the single sign-on for authentication and then the multi-factor authentication. These are the two things here we are going to concentrate, and little bit of authorization also available in the PingFederate. Okay, understood guys? Any doubts on identity and access management? Any doubts on application security guys? Search filter and search scope. Shall we go and deal with the single sign-on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, understood? Yeah.
I just
Okay,
have
great.
one doubt with search scope.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, for example, how is it gonna identify which table it need to check? For example, in a
Here we
repository
are
or
not
in a
going
database,
to
we might.
table actually. So here we will be discussing about the LDAP. Okay, not the JDBC. Okay. So here
Okay.
database we are not going to use it. We are going to use the LDAP. Okay. So JDBC does not have the search scope actually. Okay. Only the table database name directly. Okay.
Okay. So in LDAP, we have this search scope.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We will be installing the LDAP and then we will be using the LDAP and then we will register. We will create some users also actually. Okay. So for our
Okay.
testing purposes.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, understood. Okay, guys. So the next one is okay. A single sign-on. Now tell me what is a single sign-on and what you know about the single sign-on. I mean, it is just as simple as the name suggests, right? Okay, you can tell me what is a single sign-on. Any idea, guys?
For
Using the
example, in an
same
organization,
username and password.
Sorry,
Using the same username.
go ahead.
If we take, for example, our university, then using the same username and password for logging into every portal.
Good. So that means using the same username and password to access multiple applications. Okay, that is fine. But is there any other feature is there in the single sign-on? The most important feature. I mean, the one feature is that using a same username and password to access multiple applications. But there is one more extra feature is there. That is the most important feature. Any idea? No? So everyone just go to Gmail. Okay. Maybe you can use the incognito window. Okay. And then access a Gmail login. Okay. And then click on sign in. Log in with your Gmail account, guys. Okay. Log in with your Gmail account. So now, if you see it clearly, right, at first time, it is asking me to type the username and password. So when I type the username and password, it will allow me to log in into the Google authentication. Okay. Oh, sorry, not now. Okay, cancel this. So here it will log me in actually. Okay, it will log me to the mailbox. Let's see. There are like serious set of applications are there, like 10 to 15 applications are there in the Gmail. Okay, sorry, or there in the Google. So these are the Google application. So if I click on the Google Play Store, right? If you see it clearly, okay. If I click on the Google Play Store, it is not asking me to type the username and password actually. You could see it is automatically take my existing credentials and then log me in actually. Okay. Normally it should have to ask you to type the username and password, right? But why it is not asking me to type the username and password? Any idea? At first time when I log into the gmail.com, it is asking me to type the username and password. But here I'm accessing a different application that is known as the Play Store. Okay, now why it is not asking me to type the username and password?
all these apps
Because
come
it's
under
from the
Google
same.
and we have a single sign-on.
Exactly. So here, that is what the single sign-on most important kind of a, role actually. Okay, so that means here the single sign-on comes into the picture. Okay, so here you could see, right, there are how many applications are there in the Google here. There are like serious set of YouTube, every application inside the same single organization, right? So these are the applications from the single organization. That means like these are the applications are part of the Google. Okay, Google Maps or Google News or Google Chat, Calendar, Drive, Contacts, everything is the Google application only. Okay, so that these are all interconnected. Okay, that is why the single sign-on is nothing but using the same username and password to access the multiple applications. That means I'm using the same Gmail account, okay, pingtest@gmail.com, and then the password to access the multiple applications here. That is correct, okay. But here you could see, right, okay, at first time I logged in, I don't have the session, okay, I don't have the active session actually. So that is why it is asking me to type the username and password. But next time when I try to access a different application, right, okay, but within the same domain, here you could see mail.google.com, play.google.com. So both of them the same. If I click on the control shift high, right, so you can able to see the where is that? So here if I go to the applications, you can able to see the cookies actually. If I see the cookie, you could see .google.com. The cookie will generate it based on the .google.com. So whenever I'm using the application which is there in the domain of .google.com means I can able to log in to that application without typing the username and password. If I try to access the Google Calendar, it will automatically take my existing credentials in the browser and then it will log me into the application actually. So if I try to access the Drive, it will automatically log me to the application basically. Okay, so these are the, so this is known as the single sign-on. At one first time, if the session is not there, if it is a new kind of a session means it will ask you to type the username and password. So here at the same time I'm opening my incognito window. Okay, now it will ask me to type the username and password because the session is not there actually. Okay, so here, because this incognito is a private browser, right? Here does not have the session, so that is why it is asking me to type the username and password. So if I type the username and password here, okay, I logged in. Now the session has been generated. Okay, I logged into the application. Now if I try to access the drive, Google Drive, let's Google Drive. Okay, so here this is the Google Drive. Sign in. Automatically it will log me in actually. You could see. So this is how we can call it as a single sign on actually. Okay, single sign on. Not only using the same username and password login to the many application, okay, inside the organization, but it can also, if the session is already there, you don't need to type the username and password. It will be a seamless. It will be a seamless actually. Okay, it makes the user more easier to log in into the applications, right? So it makes the users it's simplifying the solution basically. Okay, any doubts till now? Any doubts, guys, on the single sign-on? Everyone clear?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything is fine on the single sign-on? Okay, so now here, okay, so here we saw the identity and access management. Now the single sign-on we saw, but this is a normal single sign-on. Okay, so we can, okay, single sign-on is a broader term actually. Okay, broader term is there are like subtopics also there in the single sign-on. So this is the normal single sign-on which we did, that is inside the same organization. Okay, you can also, I mean, if it is a Google product, is one of the example. And then if you are working in TCS, right? Okay, inside the TCS means the TCS will have a lot of different applications. Okay, so that will also work as a single sign-on. Okay, but there is one more case is there actually. Okay, so can you able to confirm that by using the Zoom Meet, by using the Google authentication, you can also access a third-party applications actually as a single sign-on. Okay, now listen carefully here. So now the Google session is there. Now I'm trying to open the Zoom meeting. Okay, I'm trying to open the Zoom meeting, zoom.us. And then there is a sign in button is there in the Zoom, right? I'm clicking on the sign in here. So here it is asking me to log in here, but if I click on the sign in with Google, right? Okay, I'm clicking on the sign in with Google. So here you could see the authentication is redirected me to the choose account. Okay, so here it is asking me to choose the account. I'm choosing the account from the Google. So if you could see, right, it is not asking me to type the username and password. Automatically it logged me in actually. You could see automatically it logged me in. This is known as the federated single sign-on from one organization to the different organization that does not have the, I mean, does not have the any kind of a difference. I mean, any kind of a like similarity. So here you could see Google is a different like Google is a different entity, different set of organization. But here I am trying to access a Zoom meeting by using the Gmail account, and it allowed me login into the application actually. So how come the Zoom login working with the Gmail actually? That is known as the cross domain actually. Okay, so here you could see zoom.us. So here you could see zoom.us is a different domain actually. But how come the .google.com cookie has been used for the zoom.us actually? You are getting my point, right, guys? Before, like in a normal single sign-on, just we have the same kind of organization, same kind of a domain, google.com applications, it is working actually because it's in the same domain, that is fine. But now here I'm using the google.com, that is a .google.com cookie to access a third party zoom.us actually. How come the cross domain is happening on actually? That is known as the federated single sign-on actually. Okay, nowadays the normal single sign-on and all it's easy, it's simple, but in order nowadays like federated single sign-on coming into the picture as too much, I mean, it's like too much high demand actually. Okay, because I am okay, for example, I am going to I am going to build a new organization, let's say. Okay, let's say like Vinay Karthik Technologies or something like that, I'm going to opening it. Okay, so I'm going to open my new like IT organization actually. Okay, so if I am going to open my organization means I need to use some kind of applications for me, like Salesforce, or like I mean ServiceNow, or like a third party organization applications are there. In order to schedule my meeting inside the my organization, right? I can use a Zoom meeting or Cisco WebEx. Okay, Cisco WebEx. Like I mean, here we are all using the Cisco WebEx, right? For the college when we are in the when you are in the COVID situations, right? So I mean, if I am having the organization means I need to have the Zoom, I need to have the service now, or I need to have the Cisco WebEx, or I need to have the like Zoom meeting, or I need to have the Microsoft applications also, right? Because my organization employees needs to work with the Excel, or needs to work with the Microsoft document or PPT, or like I need to have Microsoft Teams actually. Okay, so I need to, I mean, my employees should have to like chat with each other to work on in the same page, right? And then in order to access the mail, Outlook should be there actually. So I need to tie up with this kind of an organization to use to consume their services actually. Okay, but in order to access their services, right? Okay, let's say like I'm having the Microsoft actually. Okay, I'm reaching to Microsoft. Okay, hey Microsoft, I'm having an organization. Okay, I need your services actually. Okay, so that my employees can able to use the Microsoft Excel for their work, and then Microsoft Teams for their work purpose actually. Okay, but in order to access these applications, right, I need to create an account in the Microsoft, right? I need to create an account in the Microsoft, then only I can able to log in, right? I need to create an account in the Microsoft, then only I can able to log in. Am I right, guys? I need to have an account called Vinay Karthik at the rate of outlook.com, right, guys? Then only I can able to access the Outlook or Microsoft Teams or Excel or any applications, right, guys? Okay, but I don't want to do that actually. Okay, I don't want my employees to to register in Microsoft and then log into the application. Then how I can able, how I my employees can consume their services actually. Okay, that is what it happens. Cross domain single sign on. Okay, so here if you see the so if you see my diagrammatic representation, right? So this is my organization, ABC Technologies. You can mention Microsoft. Okay, you can have the Microsoft or Cisco, anything you want actually. Microsoft means it is having the Excel, like Word document, and then the PPT, and then the Microsoft Teams, and then the Microsoft Outlook actually. So there are like a lot of services Microsoft is providing. But in order to access these services, right, I need to create an account in the, so they will be having separate database or directory here in the application side. So I need to go ahead and create an account there. Then only I can able to log in into the application. But I'm already part of an, I'm already an employee of this particular organization, because my employee, I mean, if I am having an organization, okay, my employee will have an account in my organization already, right? So if my employee goes to this particular Microsoft and create a separate account, means there are two separate accounts will be there actually, and it will be a hectic actually. If I want to go ahead and with have a contact with the Zoom meeting, means I need to create a separate account in the Zoom also. If I am going for an service now, means I need to create a separate. So each application I will be creating a separate account, and it will be a hectic process for the employees to remember different username and password actually. Okay, so that is what. Okay, so even and that is also one of the case, like remembering like multiple username and password, that is also fine. But there is one more case is there. But if my employee, okay, if my employee leave my organization or left my organization, means I will be deleting my username, I mean I will be deleting my employee username from the repository of my organization. But I need to check with the Microsoft also whether he is already registered actually. Okay, so that is what, this is also one of the difficulty if you are maintaining the user accounts in a different applications actually. Okay, so now here what federated single sign-on makes the people easier means, okay, I will be having a dealership with the Microsoft or any other. Okay, so I'm having an technology called ABC Technologies. Okay, so I will reach out to Microsoft. Okay, hey Microsoft, I'm having my like 1,000 employees are there in my organization, so they need to use your services. Like I need to use your services like Excel or your services. So what we can able to do? So Microsoft will ask for my, okay, So they are not going to, I mean, they are not going to create a separate account in the Microsoft. Okay, instead they are asking my user details actually. Okay, so they are asking my employee details, whatever it is there in my repository. For example, if I am having an ABC technology means, okay, my email account will be like Vinay Karthik at the rate of abc.com. Vinay Karthik at the rate of abc.com. If you are working in TCS means, okay, like Shravya at the rate of tcs.com actually, or Naveen at the rate of tcs.com should be there. Okay, so they are asking, the Microsoft is asking my user details. Okay, just share your user details. I will give the services to them actually. Okay, so that your employee organization people, they can able to use their email address and password to log in into the my application. That means Microsoft is telling, okay, you just give me your users, I will give my services to those people. So their people, they, I mean, your people does not want to register in my application again, so they can use their existing username and password. Okay, and then they can log into my application. So that means here the authentication will happen on the organization side actually. Okay, the authentication is happening on the ABC technologies, and then once the authentication is done, the ABC technology will send a success response to the Microsoft. Then Microsoft will accept that success response, and then it will allow the user to log in into the application. Okay, so the Microsoft is not going to do any authentication. ABC technologies will take care of the authentication actually. Okay, so here, but you can ask me the question actually. Okay, but this is a risk and all, right? Okay, you can ask me like, hey Karthik, this is a risk kind of a stuff, right? Because ABC technology user details is shared to the Microsoft, and Microsoft is sharing the like, I mean, sharing the services to the unknown people actually. Okay, so there are risks there for both of them. Okay, Microsoft is giving the services to the unknown people because ABC technologies is a separate organization, and then ABC technology is sharing the user details to the Microsoft actually. They are not going to share the password, guys. They are not going to do the sharing the password. They are not going to do that. They will just share the employee, that is the user ID, and then the mail address, first name and last name. So these details they will share it, not the password and all. Okay, not the critical information, only the required information like mail address or like first name last name, or the employee, that is the user ID, like that actually. Okay, so once they give it, right, okay, they will enable the services for those accounts. So the what Microsoft will say, right, authentication you can take care of it. Okay, just share me the response of the successful authentication. I will allow them to log in into my application. Okay, that means there is a relationship between the both of them actually. Okay, ABC technologies and then the Microsoft. Okay, so that relationship, okay, how come we can able to enable this relationship actually? Okay, I mean, because there are risks there for both of them actually. Okay, I mean, in spite of the risk, right, how the information is being exchanged actually based on a simple trust actually, based on a simple trust. I mean, monetary benefits is still there, but that is secondary. But how the information is shared actually. Okay, Microsoft is trusting, right? That means they are trusting the ABC technology that authentication is successful for the user. I mean, even ABC technologies can able to like, I mean, can able to falsify the information, right? Because I mean, falsify the information as authentication is successful. Microsoft, you can allow the user to log in into the application. That is also can be done by the ABC technologies, right? So these are all has been enabled based on a simple trust actually. Okay, so now you can tell me how to enable the trust, guys. We discussed in the last call, right, how we can able to enable the trust. Can you able to tell me?
By sharing certificates between organizations.
Exactly. Okay, so we will be having the certificate also here. Okay, so the trust. Okay, I mean, after successful authentication, ABC technology will share the response to the Microsoft. Okay, so during the sharing of the response, right, it will attach the certificate and then send that response actually. So if the certificate is there in the response, then the Microsoft will understand, okay, so this is coming from the trustable source only, and the authentication is correct only. Authentication is also done, so I can able to trust this response, and then I can able to allow the user to log in into the application. But if the certificate is not there, then directly the Microsoft will reject the response actually. So the user
Sir, I
cannot
have a
be able to.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
If like if the certificate expires, can the organization reach out
No.
to something else?
If the certificate is expired, we need to update with a new certificate. That is, we will be discussing it. Okay. So if the certificate will have a validity of 1 year. Okay. So within that 1 year, okay, if the certificate is going to expire in 15 days or something like that, I need to change the certificate actually. Okay. I cannot use the expired certificate. If you are using the expired certificate, that Microsoft will reject the response actually. Okay. The certificate should be valid, and then it will be having a validity of 1 year. It should have to get matched. Okay. Now you can tell me how the Microsoft is having, okay, if the response is having the certificate, okay, how the Microsoft is like matching the certificate actually. Okay. It may be like a dummy certificate also, right? It may be like I can able to attach the dummy certificate and send it actually. But how come Microsoft is having it? Before the configuration, okay, the information is exchanged, right? The prerequisite, the setup should be there actually. Okay. The Microsoft setup should be there in the organization, ABC Technologies. ABC Technology setup should be there in the Microsoft actually. Okay. So before the enabling the single sign-on itself, okay, the exchange of information will happen, and then the certificate, we need to share the certificate to the Microsoft actually. Okay. We need to share our certificate. Okay. Hey Microsoft, I'm going to use this certificate for the like response accept, I mean response like issuance actually. So I will be attaching this certificate in the response. So please have it, and then if it is if the certificate is if the response is having this certificate, you can accept it. If the response does not have this certificate, you can reject it actually. We need to share it actually. We need to share the valid certificate to them. Okay. We need, and then we need to use that certificate for attaching in the SAML response also, sorry, in the response also. Okay. If you are using the different kind of a certificate in the response means, then the certificate will get mismatched, and then it will throw an error actually. Okay. So this is what it happens on the federated single sign-on. The trust, I am saying it right, between these two parties, that is known as the federation actually. That is known as the federation. Now you can tell me how the single sign-on happens actually. Okay. Now you can open the open the browser and then try to access the Microsoft Teams by using the ABC Technologies mail address and then the password. Means at first time it will ask you to type the username and password. Okay. If the federated single sign-on is enabled, means the next time if you open another tab and try to access the outlook.com, means it will automatically log you in actually. And then if the Cisco WebEx also federated single sign-on enabled, means the same session will be shared being different domain actually. Okay. The session has been started by using the abc.com only, but it has been shared to the Microsoft applications, to the Cisco WebEx, wherever the federated single sign-on has been enabled actually. Okay. So that is known as the federated single sign-on. Only one time you have to log in. The next time you no need to log in. If the session is already there, it won't ask you to type the username and password. Okay. The authentication will happen seamlessly. Okay. That is the difference between the normal single sign-on to the federated single sign-on. Normal single sign-on, nothing is required. That's a simple one. Okay. Within the same organization, all the applications can be accessible. But the problem will arise only from the one organization to the another organization actually. Okay. So here also we are going to see how we can able to enable the federated single sign-on by using the tool called pingfederate actually. Okay. All the organization, okay, nowadays if you are going and working inside the organization, means definitely they will require the federated single sign-on actually. Okay. Okay. Definitely they will require the federated single sign-on. So how come we can able to enable the federated single sign-on process? There are like certain protocols out there. Okay. So they are going to remove this WS-Fed and WS-Trust guys. Okay. So they are having the SAML protocol. They are having the OAuth and OpenID protocol actually. Okay. So the protocol means it's a rule actually. Okay. It's a rule. Okay. Both of them is going to use the same workflow actually. Okay. Little bit changes will be there, but the certificate should be there. That is mandatory. Okay. For validating the response. Okay. If the certificate is not there, then application it won't accept it actually. Certificate should be there. Without the certificate we cannot enable the single sign-on. Okay. So it will also follow for the SAML. Okay. SAML and OAuth, these are the rules actually. Okay. That is already prescribed. Okay. That is already there. Okay. SAML has been introduced in 1998, and 2005 the latest protocol for the SAML was released, and then in 2005 OAuth was released actually, and then the new latest protocol is going to come actually. Okay, the latest protocol is going to come in 2024, or I mean 2023 or 2024. It may come actually. It is in near future. I will tell you. We will explain this. We will see this actually. Okay. So based on these two protocols, right, we are going to enable the single sign-on, federated single sign-on. So how to use this protocol? There are like certain federated identity and access management tools are there. One of the top tool in the market is known as the PingFederate, and Okta is also there. And Microsoft is also having two tools actually. Microsoft ADFS is one of the tool, and then Microsoft Azure is there. Azure AD, you might have heard about this one actually. That is also providing the federated single sign-on. And then ForgeRock, there is an access manager is there. ForgeRock AM, that is also one of the single sign-on tool available in the market. OneLogin, this is an old tool, guys. Okay, this is an old tool. Nowadays, the people are not concentrated or not using this one. Even Microsoft ADFS, this is also like an old tool. Microsoft Active Directory Federation Services. Active Directory Federation Services. This is also old tool that has been upgraded to the Azure Active Directory, Azure SSO, Azure single sign-on, because Microsoft, like nowadays, they are having the cloud system, right? Microsoft Azure. So that is it has been upgraded actually. PingFederate is a huge tool actually. Okay, it is there for more than 16 years to 17 years actually. Okay, this is one of the top tools. Maybe it's like, I mean, top highly demand tool for the single sign-on in the current market. So there is a competition is going on for these two. I mean, these are the two competitors actually. Okay, you know, right? I mean, Chiranjeevi, Venkatesh, Vijay, Ajit, Rajinikanth, Kamal Hassan, like two people will be there, right? Virat Kohli, Steve Smith, and then Kane Williams, and these people are there, right? Who are all competitive for their respective fields, right? Okay. So similarly, here also, PingFederate and Okta is are the two tools like right now competing. Both of them is, I mean, like 1 month PingFederate will come in top, 1 month Okta will come in top. I mean, Okta is a new tool. It has been introduced on 2018 only, but before 2018, PingFederate is a top tool for nearly 10 over a decade actually. Okay, over a 10 years, PingFederate is the top tool. But once Okta comes, right, PingFederate went to number 2 actually, but now the current market is going for a PingFederate as a number 1 actually. Okay, so these things will happen actually, number 1, number 2, but all over the world, PingFederate and Okta currently, I mean, I'm saying it currently, okay, currently and in future also, next to 5 years or to 10 years, PingFederate and Okta will be there, highly demand for the single sign-on actually. Okay, maybe it will get changed actually. There will be, I mean, there will be like another tool also will come in the future actually for the single sign-on. But right now the demand is huge for the PingFederate and then the Okta. Okay, both of them is the same tool actually. Only the user interface will get changed. Okay, but other things like, I mean, the SAML, OAuth, OpenID, the workflow, these are all the same flows actually. Okay, so about the identity and access management, and then we saw the search filter, search scope, and then 3 different parties for the user bases actually. And then we also saw the authentication. Under authentication, single sign-on. So we saw the single sign-on. What is single sign-on? It will share the same cookie within the same domain. And then the different domain means federated single sign-on, how the trust has been enabled based on the certificate. Okay, and then how come we can able to enable the SAML, SSO? We are going to use a SAML protocol, OAuth and OpenID, and then we are going to use the PingFederate as the tool to enable the single sign-on. So here ABC technologies will get replaced with the PingFederate here. ABC technology will use the PingFederate to enable the single sign-on between these two actually. Okay,